Hello everyone and welcome back to more of the Fruit of Grisaia. Here we are with a harrowing choice. We're being chased after Captain Sakashida's father, who is taking revenge upon us for the death of her daughter, his daughter I should say, to which he believes that Amane is responsible, and he basically wants her to suffer the same way he has. This is a man has nothing left in the world. His wife left him, his company folded afterwards, and he's a wreck. And he's crazed right now, and we're here at the point, do we run away with Amane together to try to escape the guy, or do we go separately? See, the thing is, with running away separately, I'm afraid that I'm going to abandon her like Kazuki did. Well, Kazuki didn't really abandon her, but in her mind she kind of felt that she did. And I don't think I want her to open up those old wounds again. So I think I'm going to run away with Amane. But in case I screw up, I'll come back here and redo it. Yeah, I can't leave her alone right now. Alright, we'll run away together. Yeah, she's begging us not to leave her, and I couldn't do that to her. Maybe in a parallel world I could, but not this one. No siree. Looking into Amane's face, I find myself growing strangely contemplative. It hasn't been long at all since we met, but somehow I feel like we've been together for many years already. In that short time, I've gained many priceless things from her. For that very reason, the thought that I might fail to save her from this predicament is immensely frustrating. I bite my lower lip, a sudden physical rush of anger spreading haughtily through my body. Yuji got shot in the shoulder area. I glanced out at Amane's words, probably because I got myself pointlessly worked up. Fresh blood began to flow from my wounded shoulder down my right arm, dripping from my fingertips to stain the rocks below dusky red. The gunshot wound was problematic enough, but the blow to my head as I hit the ground must have been more severe than I'd initially realized. Without a determined effort to stay alert, the world before my eyes quickly seems to grow dim. Something salty and liquid begins to flow into my eyes. At first I assumed the pain's causing me to sweat heavily, but when I wipe it away with my hand, I discover that my forehead has begun to bleed as well. Break time's over, get running, huh? The man's got no patience. He's following us through the woods. Alright, listen up, Amane. We're up shit creek without the proverbial paddle. To be frank, there's a good chance we're both going to die here. Are you ready to stare down the Grim Reaper, as I have? No, you aren't. Thanks for trying, though. No one's ready to die. You might say you are, but you're not really ever ready. Human beings can't acclimatize themselves to the possibility of death as easily as that. The closer death grows, the more the mind flies to sentimentality and reminiscence. Remembering some friend from elementary school, you sniffle like a child just looking up into the sky at twilight, tears flow down your face. It takes 3 full days of living with death for the paralysis to set in. Yes, paralysis is really the only word for it. Death begins to take on meaning in its own right. It becomes the only thing that does matter. Sometimes emotions utterly numbed, the survivors staggered to its clutches with a stupid smile on their faces. Might have been the wrong thing to ask of you. Fine, let's try this instead. I'm not a charitable enough guy to roll over and die when someone tries to kill me. I'll fight back every inch of the way, and if it comes down to it, I want the last words out of my mouth to be, not yet. If you want to call yourself a woman, my woman, you're going to have to do the same. If you're so prepared to die, you could do it fighting at my side, got that? Thanks. I know I'm a stubborn pain in the ass, but that's what you signed up for. Stow it. Don't make me blush. I'll bleed out faster. Let's escape from the crazed madman first. Don't ask questions if you know the answer. Alright, let's go. As he licked his lips, dry from the tension of the hunt, Sakashita Kaiji stalked cautiously through the jungle in pursuit of his prey. Some 10 minutes ago, his fleeing targets had split up to run in different directions. After a moment's hesitation, he had decided to quietly chase Kazami Yuji, his initial objective and the more problematic of the two. For some time, the boy had been blundering forward like a wounded beast, not even trying to conceal his flight. A crude sneer spread uncontrollably across Sakashita's face as he followed. Deer flee at full speed the instant they realize they're being targeted, and they won't stop until there's no longer the slightest sign of their pursuer. Even afterward, they'll stand quietly on full alert for 30 minutes to an hour, cautiously ascertaining their safety. If their hunter gets tired of waiting and makes the slightest move, the deer will instantly take flight once more. Back to square one you go. The only thing to do is to wait, erase yourself, melt into the forest, clear all emotion from your mind. In time, the deer will decide the crisis has passed and begin to move normally again. That precise instant is your best window of opportunity. Living things are never more vulnerable than in moments of relief. Of course, human beings are no exception. The moment your desperate flight finally brings you to safety is by far the most dangerous. This Kazami Yuji had piqued Sakashita's interest at first, but his flight had been clumsy, and for the last few minutes he'd shown no signs of movement whatsoever. Perhaps his endurance had simply reached its end. That morning, just after he'd called out to Kazami Yuji for the first time, Sakashita had momentarily felt his breath catch in his throat. Something about the man had set Sakashita's hair on end. It was a familiar feeling, the kind of tension he'd known when confronted by a large carnivore. Kazami Yuji's eyes were bottomlessly, disturbingly dark. In the sight of his youthful, even boyish face, Sakashita thought he'd seen the hint of a powerful, unyielding will. And when those eyes flashed over him, they were very much the eyes of a beast appraising potential prey. Sakashita had seen such eyes before. His instructor at an overseas hunting school had looked at him the same way. That instructor had spent many years in the Marine Corps, participated in innumerable combat missions, a true soldier who'd fought many enemies and outlived them all. Until the vision of her right eye failed, it was said that instructor had been the greatest sniper even among the Marine elite. Those black glittering eyes had possessed true power. Not the hollow threat of some city thug's leering glare, the raw menace of a beast's indifferent scrutiny. His knees had trembled at every glance. Kazami Yuji's eyes gleamed with the same light as the genuine article Sakashita had once known. When the shock passed, the fact brought him something like joy. He'd finally found the thing he'd been searching for. His goal was revenge for his daughter. He had been searching for something to stand in his way. An effortless revenge would be meaningless. There would be no worthy tribute, no suitable final achievement, unless he was made to labor for it. With a short sigh, Sakashita took another step forward, slowly approaching his immobile target. Of course, this movement was executed with perfect stealth. He couldn't afford to be careless yet. There was still a chance this was some form of a trap. Squinting in the dim light that filtered through the canopy above, Sakashita cautiously observed the ground ahead. Scattered drops of Kazami Yuji's blood formed a trail forward into the brush. No obvious traps, but there was no telling what a wounded beast might be capable of. Surely a man with eyes like that wouldn't give up so easily. But in retrospect, there were many things about Kazami Yuji he didn't understand. How could a boy like that, still virtually a child, have acquired such impenetrably dark eyes? Since he was in Mahama Academy, a box made to keep the sick daughters of wealthy men discreetly out of sight, he must have some unique circumstances, but Sakashita's investigations had yielded little in the way of answers. The moment his informant had told him Amane was in a relationship with a man, he had gathered all the information he could, none of it particularly revealing. Kazami Yuji, precise personal history unknown. After an extended period studying overseas, he had transferred to Mihama Academy only months before as a specially invited international scholarship student. He might not even be Japanese. In fact, Sakashida's face-to-face meeting with the man had left him with such an impression. Kazami Yuji had spoken without the habitual slang and warped tone you'd expect from a young person these days. His words had been oddly stiff and formal, almost like a foreigner who learned Japanese from a textbook. And somehow, the way the boy held himself simply didn't feel typically Japanese. Even his build was unusual. He clearly trained his body intensely, but in a way utterly removed from the bodybuilder's quest for inflated masses of decorative muscle. Kazami Yuji was lean, sinewy, as if forged for a specific purpose. As Sakashida's thoughts rolled uneasily through his litany of incompatibility, something like an answer suddenly popped into his head. An agent from the north? He'd heard something before about a school that there existed to produce killers. After enduring severe training from a very young age, it was said those students who satisfied their standards would be sent off to foreign countries. He had no idea whether there was any truth to the story, but applied to Kazami Yuji, it felt shockingly consistent. Even that strangely firm and erect bearing, so completely out of place in modern youth, would be entirely understandable as a military department. Come to think of it, Sakashida's father had been no different. Men who've spent time in the military are permanently left with a different set to their face. Even their way of thinking is transformed. No matter what the situation, there's always simultaneously considering the best and worst case scenario. A soldier, or perhaps a civilian and military employee, a contractor? When his thoughts progressed this far, Sakashida drew to a halt. This is a trap. All of a sudden, Sakashida felt very nearly convinced of that. He stared cautiously through the trees at Kazami Yuji's white uniform, some 30 meters ahead. Sakashida Keiji was aware that he suffered from a mild case of night blindness, although it had no effect on his daily life. Recently, his astigmatism had been progressing as well. When the lighting grew poor, he had significant difficulty making out the exact shape of distant objects. In the dim, gloomy forest, where the treetops intercepted most of the sun's light, he could clearly make out the white school uniform on Kazami Yuji's back. But there was a possibility the boy was making use of that sharp contrast to deceive him. Once the thought occurred to him, it started to look almost like the jacket had simply been draped over a suitable tree branch. God damn it! Cursing silently to himself, Sakashida lifted his shotgun to his hip once more. His anxiety and nervous tension rendered his movements somewhat sloppy, and the gun rattled in his hand as he brought it to bear. 30 meters ahead, the uniformed figure flinched in surprise and turned in his direction. Just my mind playing tricks on me. Nothing but a child, after all. Lightly exhaling in relief, Sakashida took one step forward towards the white uniform. In that instant... You just let your guard down, didn't you? His face contorted with agitation and fright. Sakashida spun around towards the voice, swinging his gun up to his chest, but there was no one behind him. Wrong way! And once again, the voice was behind him. Sakashida wheeled around a second time, only to find himself facing a large, flat boulder. Realizing the boy had thrown his voice off the wall of stone, he ground his teeth in frustration. Swinging from side to side, his gun and eyes moving as one, Sakashida searched frantically for the source of the voice. Like I said, wrong way. The instant Sakashida screamed those words, he heard a bush rustle with movement a few meters behind. But rather than Kazami Yuji, his eyes in the muzzle of his gun found something else entirely. A long tree branch curved back like a tightly drawn bow. The branch instantly whipped forward on Sakashida's face. A split second after he squeezed his eyelids shut, the rough wooden bow struck him across both eyes. White stars exploded across his field of vision. Sakashida staggered backward, utterly blind. Oh shit. By the time the thought ran through his mind, it was already too late. His arm was jerked behind him, an unseen hand twisted the lever of his gun sharply upward, and the break-action barrel swung open. "I told you that was the wrong way, you know." The voice was behind Sakashita again, but this time he felt warm breath on his ear. "This can't be happening!" His ears ringing, frantic and terrified, Sakashita tried to turn towards his enemy, but just as his head began to rotate, a hand reached out from behind and firmly seized him by the face. 4 fingers sunk down into his eyeball as if to gouge it out of its socket, disabling any attempt at escape. Ow. As the long middle finger of Kazami Yuji's hand dug savagely into his right eye, Sakashita Kaiji shrieked in agony and horror. What kind of monster is he? The instant the thought ran through Sakashita's mind, a heavy kick to the back of his knee sent him sprawling forward. His head, yanked back against the momentum of his body, came to rest defensively against Kazami Yuji's chest, chin up and throat utterly exposed. He's gonna kill me. Sakashita's hand, still holding his gun, was pinned against his back. His shoulder and elbow screamed with pain, bones audibly creaking. His weak hand, the only possible means of fighting back, was desperately clutched at Yuji's wrist in an attempt to keep his eyeball in his socket. He was completely powerless. If the man behind him stabbed his throat with a sharp branch, let alone a knife, he would simply die. Even as he screamed the word, Sakashita knew it was a laughable, hypocritical request. He knew this man wasn't about to stop anytime soon, no matter how nicely he asked. But if it distracted Kazami Yuji from inflicting pain on him for even the briefest of moments, any words would do. Sorry, not quite. The same dispassionate whisper as always. Under these circumstances, it sounded so pitiless and so cruel that Sakashita involuntarily swallowed all the saliva in his mouth. As the warm liquid made its way down Sakashita's throat, his utterly exposed Adam's apple bobbed violently up and down. Close, though. Everyone always gets so very close. What, do you think I'd hesitate? Unfortunately for you, I'm used to patricide, especially when it comes to worthless scum-sucking fathers like you. Oh, it's very simple, Mr. Sakashita. You only knew how to kill prey that doesn't fight back, and you picked a fight with someone who only knows how to kill human beings. Here's a tip. If you want to kill a human being, you need to go and prepare for the possibility that you'll be killed instead. Oh, shut the hell up already. As Sakashita collapses to the ground, I let out a brief sigh, then crouched down to strip him of his hunting shotgun and equipment. Using a nylon rope and packaging tape I find in his backpack, I quickly restrain him. Yeah, somehow or other. Amane tentatively draws near. Taking in the scene, accepting my school uniform from her outstretched hand, I gingerly slip it back on. Staring down Sakashita's limp, tightly bound body, Amane furrows her brow anxiously. Why the hell would I bother tying up a dead man? He's alive. Is it? You do remember who we're talking about here, right? Well, that's understandable. I have no intention of adding yet another layer to Amane's trauma. That happens to be the main reason this man's still breathing. It's all good in retrospect since it worked out, but to be honest, that was one hell of a tie to scrape. Pouting, Amane holds a hand to the back of her head. We devised the plan on the run, a trap using a tree branch to momentarily rob Sakashita of his vision. And what made it possible was, in fact, Amane's own hair. With no weapons on hand, we had to devise our own, and as we ran, those long, healthy locks quickly caught my attention. On average, her hairs were a full 120 centimeters long. By tying many strands together, we could use them as a substitute tripwires. At first, Amane clapped her hands happily, saying something about finally finding a practical application of digital communication, but after having nearly 30 strands of hair yanked out of her scalp, she was half crying from the intense pain. Don't be mad, alright? I'm grateful. You're pretty damn near perfect back there. Squatting down in the darkness in my uniform to lure Sakashita into the open, she manipulated the strand of wire in her hand to provide the crucial distraction with impeccable timing. There might have been 30 meters between them, but she was still at gunpoint. Her composure was nothing short of remarkable under the circumstances. Well done, Amane. This strategy couldn't have succeeded without you. You're getting an official commendation. Amane smiles as I drop my hand on her head and gently scratch her scalp, her cheeks flushing pink. Kinda feels like petting a smart, overgrown puppy that came running back with a tennis ball in his mouth. My only response to Amane's question is a furrowed brow. I've seen this expression before. It's the third kind of face a woman can show you. Not the face of a woman you can kiss, not the face of a woman you can't kiss. The so-called special case expression. Staring blankly at that expectant, almost demanding face, I suddenly feel very, very tired. Not yet. The end expedition isn't over until you reach your front door. Save it for when we get back. We're going home. I'm exhausted. Plus, I'm still bleeding. And we've got a long trek back through the woods to get back to civilization. Took like 3 hours to get here, remember? Impassively allowing Amane's disgruntled mutterings to roll over my aching back, I lead her down the mountain. Sakashita's father, we leave on the spot. Trust like a turkey. Once my cell phone finally picks up a signal, I gave GB a call and push everything onto her. Naturally, that shaggy-headed dork doesn't take the news well. Takes a good deal of patient effort to explain the situation. And I end up sentenced to present myself at headquarters for an oral hearing and delivery of a detailed written report. The gunshot wounds on my back are painful enough, but now I've got a pain in the ass to deal with as well. 1 week after the incident, the wounds on my back had mostly stopped aching, my right arm still supported by a thick sling hanging around my neck. I paid a visit to JB's office at company headquarters to offer my formal explanation. It was him or us. You have my sincerest apologies. I guess it comes to being I-9029. Might as well just resign yourself to your fate. I figured I'd save that for the formal report. What, were you worried or something? Yeah, I understand. What, so you were worried after all? Aw, that's so sweet of you. That kinda hurts. I'm a person. I'm not equipment. I don't have feelings. You're so full of it. Is it just me, or has JB been veering dangerously close to Michiru territory lately? Maybe it does really come with the hair color. So, what happened to Sakashita Man afterwards? I spent the morning flirting with Amane, so unfortunately not. He's dead? What happened?
Oh. Oh no. Killed himself. Well, he probably realized he had nothing left. He couldn't get revenge. That was his last bastion of sanity he had, keeping him tied to this world.
I guess it doesn't come as a shock. Suicide?
自殺の原因は不明ってことになっているけど、おそらくは娘の死をきっかけとした転落人生を苦にといったところじゃないかしらね。
If he was the sort to kill himself, I'm pretty sure the incident we're here to discuss never would have taken place.
今回の事件？何？
Oh, she doesn't know yet. Covered it up?
事件なんて起きてもいないし、
Ah,
坂下氏は人生を儚んでの自殺。それが全てよ。
did you give him a push?
いやーねー、人聞きの悪い。
When your voice gets all high pitched like that, there's always something ugly going on behind the scenes, you know? Maybe I don't want to know.
一応ね、他にも思いついたんだけどね。娘が死んで生きる目標と理性を失った坂下氏は、猟銃を手にして無差別に学生を襲い始めるの。街中で猟銃を持った坂下氏が「なんで生きてんだ、お前もお前も!」とか叫びながら通り魔的に猟銃を乱射しているところをサットに射殺されて決着がつく。どう？
That's a pretty macabre imagination you got there. Even in the best case scenario, there would be heavy casualties and massive media attention.
でしょ？だから彼は自殺したのよ。今は大事件で国民の目をそらせるような政治問題もないしね。地味な粉飾で終わらせたってわけ。
I'll pretend it is.
はい、お利口さん。
Can you say I'm full of myself? Can I leave now?
結構よ。なに？そんなに天音ちゃんが恋しいの？
Looking at your hair too long makes my eyes sting.
金髪は嫌いじゃないくせに。
It depends on the woman it's growing on. Alright then, I'll be going.
あ、ユージ、ちょっと待って。
You need something?
前にあなたが言ってた予備社員の件だけど、条件付きで OK が出たわよ。
Conditional, is it?
そう、条件。今のままではダメだけれど、昇級試験を受けて合格すれば OK よ。
Head office examinations or Japanese branch examinations?
両方。いつまでも特務伍長ではいられないでしょ。少尉になったら予備士官に登録してあげる。
You're telling me to go back to school yet again?
自宅から通えるように手配はしてあげるわよ。
What a pain in the ass.
あなたの強制任期はまだ1年半もあるわ。ゆっくり考えなさいな。
My current rank is 5th from the bottom of the table, and she's telling me to jump another 5. If it was just HQ's exam, it'd be certain enough, but demanding I also pass the Japanese test for every rank is downright sadistic. If I keep working the way I am now, I'll take a decade of serious effort to hit that rank. Even if I renew my contract and accept this training course, I can't see it ending in less than 7 years. Talk about delayed gratification. So that's how it is?
つまり、なんだろう、専門の学校に通うわけ？
Probably, yeah.
じゃあ、転校しちゃうの？
No, I'd be starting this new school in 1.5 years. In other words, after my graduation.
あ、すぐじゃないんだ。
That's right. After graduating from here, I'll be going to a new school for about 7 years, I'd guess. Mind holding off on the marriage until after that? Well, of course you mind. Yeah, dumb question.
ユージが待ってろって言うなら待つよ。
No, that won't be necessary. I'll talk it over with the higher-ups. There are restrictions on marriage as well, but once my field term is over, things should ease up slightly. I doubt it'll really be a problem.
本当？じゃあ、ユージがここを卒業したら、
You got that backward, Amane. I'm the one asking you. Please marry me.
わかった、する、結婚する。
Well, it's gonna be a little while yet, but thank you. We'll make this work. I know it.
任せて。じゃあ、私はユージより1年早く卒業するから、その間に自分の仕事見つけておくよ。
Good job, why?
ん？だって、ユージは卒業してもまた学生になるんでしょ？だ。
Well, even as a student, I'll be earning 106,600 yen monthly stipend with a bonus twice a year. That's pretty good money. Oh, that's alright. For a kid, that's alright. That's decent money. From what JB tells me, the head office covers a certain percentage of housing costs and other living expenses, including an additional allowance for married employees.
じゃあ私は専業主婦になればいいのかな
If you want to work, I won't stop you. Shouldn't really be necessary, though.
じゃあ子育てに専念できるね
Children.
赤ちゃんの靴下を編む練習でも始めようかな
I think you're jumping the gun a little bit on that one. Jumping the gun a bit, still a ways off. Those thoughts prove surprisingly transient. Time always passes more quickly than you'd expect. All too quickly. Half a year had passed, and Amane graduated from Mahama Academy. That said, she immediately rented an apartment within walking distance of the school, so I didn't exactly have to go out of my way to see her. In fact, she made a routine of coming to the student dorm every morning, making breakfast for me and Makina and passing us our lunchboxes. How sweet. In the evening, we'd eat dinner at Amane's apartment. This pattern held for maybe a month or so. Soon enough, Makina grew irritated with the effort of walking between the dorm and Amane's building. After renting the room next door, Makina presented the school with an application demanding special permission to commute under the pretense of ensuring a secure living environment. Somehow she forced Chusingura to sign off on it. Next-door neighbors might not sound too bad, but in reality, Makina was soon virtually squatting in Amane's room yet again, just as when they'd been in the dorm together. Another year after that, this time it was my turn to graduate. And as planned for some time now, I entered a special technical school specified by headquarters. In addition to the monthly written exams, my new student life involved irregular, sometimes completely unannounced, physical fitness tests, often amounting to something like a very rigorous and painful game of musical chairs. At first I was living in Amane's room and commuting, but the daily travel on top of the grueling training proved too much. I rented a room near my new school's campus and returned to Amane on the weekends, a pattern that held for some time. But after about 2 years of this temporary solution, Makina finally chirped, "When are you gonna get married already?" Startled, Amane and I looked into each other's faces. Having reached the mutual conclusion that it was in fact about time we got around to that, we were married soon thereafter, finally fulfilling our promise to each other. And not long after that, 5 years after my graduation from Mahama, after various trials and tribulations, I cleared the last of my required exams well ahead of schedule by virtue of my superb grades. At long last, I entered the permanent reserve, gaining a degree of freedom. For my day job, I chose to become a teacher at my alma mater, Mahama Academy. Hey, need a gym teacher or something? It'd been years since we talked about this, and I'd ask half as a joke, but here I am, ready to teach a new crop of Mahama students their English. Life works in mysterious ways, as they say. Yeah, life is just full of mysteries. For example, why is Makina still a student here? That's probably number 1 on my list at the moment. Okay, why is she still in Mahama?
あれ知らなかったのあの子今年で8年生だよでも来年は留年できないからいよいよ卒業かな
From what Amane tells me, Makina repeated her grades 7 times in a row, ending up something of a super freshman. By all rights, her age should be a serious problem, but Makina was so childish to begin with. Even now, it feels like her appearance has just caught up with the other girls.
あれボバ太郎の音だねマキナ帰ってきたかな
She pushed Bobataro off you?
あはまあね私はもう乗らないしマキナに免許取ったらあげるって言ったら本当に免許取ってきちゃったんだものただいまあまね今日のおやつ何おかえりマキナ外から帰ったらまずは手を洗いなさいおい
There's a reason Amane stopped riding her bike. Can you guess what that reason is? Because she's given birth to a child. Naturally, I had a hand in this, or at least, I hope so. Aww. Look at that. Look how cute the baby is. It's so adorable.
こ こらこら、嘘を教えるな嘘を。っていうかあんた落とさないでよ。
It looks just like us.
大丈夫だってば。私だって昔の私とは違うのよさ。
そう言いつつ、この前その子を肩車してて天井の鴨居に頭をぶつけたの誰よ。
私か。そうか、ごめんな。でも女の子はちっとぐれ頭悪い方がモテるんだぜ。
Don't be ridiculous. Women are all about cooking. As long as she can make a decent meal, even a bit of an ugly girl won't have any trouble finding a man to bring the bacon.
大丈夫なのよさ。だってアマネの子なのよ。絶対お料理の上手な子に育つのよ。
あのさ、その子まだ3ヶ
Oh,
月
it's a
だよ。
girl.
どんな子になるかなんてわからないわよ。
She'll be a beauty. I know it.
リッチになる。
Shut up.
リッチにはなりません。
そいつはどうかな。アマネのエロ遺伝子が組み込まれているのよ。ねえお兄ちゃん、もしこの子が突然ろくでもない男を連れてきてこの人と結婚するって言い出したらどうする？
The hell you talking about? There's only one thing to do. Rip off my shirt, yell, alright, bring it on, punk.
それじゃうちのお父さんと同じじゃん。
Right. I beat the living hell out of your dad, fair and square. A bride is something you win, not something you're given.
おかげでお父さん腰を悪くして3日ぐらいお店休んだんだよ。
Well, he's the one who ignored your mother's approval and started shouting, if you want Amane, you have to take her over my dead body. You know, sometimes words just aren't enough.
ほんじゃもしこの娘を嫁にもらいに来たアホがいたらぶっ飛ばすの？
Well, I don't care what she does for a job as long as he can protect my daughter no matter what. I mean, if you call yourself a man, then defend your woman with your life. If you can't promise that, go the hell home. No, if a spot in a city like that has the nerve to even show up, I'll freaking kill him. For real.
殺すなよ。っていうかあんたに勝てる男なんているの？それにその子が好きだって言うならそれでいいじゃない。
I don't know about that, but... You're already turning into the classic overindulgent mother, you know that? But I guess you do have a point this time. I wouldn't completely ignore my daughter's opinion on the matter. If she asked for my blessing, I'd ask her a question right back. Would you throw away your life for this man? And if after a day passes her opinion still hasn't changed, I guess I might be able to sorrowfully approve of the marriage. Possibly. Probably. Maybe.
なんだその曖昧な後半。
What's so funny?
なんか幸せだなってさ。ただそう思っただけ。
I see.
そう、すっごく幸せ。あんなことがあった私がこんなに幸せでいいんだろうか。そんな不安に時々襲われる。それでもこの人と一緒なら、ユージと一緒なら、きっといつか私の罪や罰が許される日が来る。そんな予感がするの。やがて牧野の学園を卒業し、私たちの部屋から出ていくことになった。卒業後はドイツにある美術の学校に留学するとのことで、当分日本へは帰ってこないらしい。いたらいたでうるさい子だけれど、いざいなくなるとなんだか自分の娘が出て行ったみたいで少し寂しい。美浜で仕事をしながら予備社員の仕事を続けていたユージも、ここ最近はめったに呼び出されなくなり、年に数日間の教官としての仕事をするだけになっていた。そんな予備社員の仕事もあと1年もすれば引退の時期らしい。結婚して20年。結局私はこの年になるまでユージがどこの会社で何の仕事をしていたのかを知らないでいる。別に知りたいとも思わないし、 ユージは私との約束通りいつも無事に帰ってきてくれた。だったらそれでいい。それ以上は贅沢というものだ。ただユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて目を覚ますことがたびたびあって、それだけが少し気がかりだった。声をかければ何でもないとだけ答えるユージに無力感だけが残った。そして気がつけばもう40年。私たちの娘も結婚し、来年には孫が生まれてくるという。私ももうすっかりおばあちゃんだけれど、相変わらずユージと共に穏やかな老後というものをそれなりに満喫している。年とともにいろいろなものが穏やかになってきたのだろう。時間の流れさえ穏やかに感じられるようになり、そしてユージは夜中に苦しげな声を上げて何度も目を覚ますことがなくなった。隣の布団で穏やかな顔で眠るユージを見て、ああ、この人の戦争はやっと終わったのだと。やっと地獄から帰ってくることができたのだと。そんな穏やかで静かな日々から半年後、ユージにがんが見つかった。痛くても苦しくても我慢してしまうユージのこと。発見した時にはすでに手遅れで、余命は5ヶ月と診断された。それでも私たちの生活に当たり前に生き、当たり前の毎日を送り、また当たり前の今日が来る。余命5ヶ月と診断されていたユージはまるで計算していたかのように5ヶ月目の日曜日の朝、ユージも死んでただ一人残された私は、ユージが死に際に残した「まだお前の罰は終わらないぞ」との言葉を守り続け、その後も「ありがとう」を言い続ける余生を送る。ユージを失った生活も思ったほど寂しくはなかった。目を閉じればユージと過ごした思い出が走馬灯のようにいくつも思い出すことができる。ユージとは何度も喧嘩はしたけれど、思い返せば全てが楽しい思い出で、出した食事に一度も文句を言われたことがないのが私の誇りだった。きっと私ももう長くはないだろう。もう思い残すこともあまりないけれど、いつでもまたすぐに会えると思えば、少しぐらいは待たせても構わないだろう。私は相変わらずそういうところで少しだけユージには意地悪なのだ。ユージが死んで5年目の夏、数えてみればあの人と出会ってから50回目の夏になる。東京で暮らす娘夫婦が一番下の子を連れて帰省した。久しぶりに見た孫の顔は幼い頃の私によく似ているような気がする。きっと今年が最後の夏になる。そんな予感がしていた私は、義理の息子が運転する車の後部座席に乗って向かった先は、私が事故に遭って生き残った樹海が見下ろせる公園。私の唯一の心残りといえば、風見和樹が私のために残したあの荷物だけだった。 ここはあの頃とあまり変わらない。もうここを訪れる人もあまりいないのだろう。現場へと続く山道はすっかりと荒れ果て、入山を諦めた私は日の当たる場所に置かれたバス停のベンチに腰掛け、現場に向かって手を合わせる。目を閉じればまだあの頃のバスケ部の仲間たちの顔を思い出す顔の一つ一つは今でも苦痛に歪み、みんなごめんなさい、そしてありがとう。こんなに長生きしてしまった私はいつになったら許されるのだろう。もう私に罰を与えてくれる幼児はいないというのに。ねえ和樹、私どうしよう。私一人じゃ答えが出せないよ。ね
え、おばあちゃん。
なーに？
私のおじいちゃんってどんな人だったの？
そっか。おじいちゃんが死んだ時、あんたはまだ小さかったからね。
なんかね、おばあちゃんが元気ないみたいだから、おじいちゃんの話をしてきなさいってママが言ったの。
相変わらずだね、あの子も。変に気が回って不器用に優しいところは、あの子はおじいちゃんに似たのかもしれないね。
おじいちゃんは優しい人だった？
そうね。そしてとても臆病で勇敢な人だった。
臆病で勇敢？
臆病というよりは何事にも慎重で何でもよく考えて行動する人だった。そしてどんなに困難な状況であっても誰もが諦めてしまうようなことに直面しようとも。覚えてないあんたに言ってもピンとこないか。
時々むちゃくちゃを言うけど、優しいおじいちゃんだったのは覚えてるよ。
そっか。
おじいちゃんが死んじゃって寂しい？
どうだろうね。実はそれほどでもないけれど、でもきっと私にももうすぐお迎えが来て、またおじいちゃんに会えるよ。若い頃は死ぬのがあんなに怖かったのに、今はあんまり怖くないしね。
おばあちゃんは死ぬの怖くないの？
怖くはないけれど少し寂しいかな。
寂しいって何が？
そうね、私はきっと地獄へ行くんじゃないかなって、そんな風に思うの。そこには多分知り合いはいなくて、だからそれが。
それは大丈夫じゃないかな。5年間悪いことをしなかったら天国へ行けるんだって前におじいちゃんが言ってたよ。
そんな運転免許じゃあるまいし。っていうか、あんたそれ何を手に持ってるの？
これお守りだよ。昔ね、おじいちゃんの病院にお見舞いに行った時にもらったの。これね、どんな危機的状況でもこれを持っていれば必ず守ってくれるんだって。すっげえ効果あるからお前にやるっておじいちゃんがくれた。
あの人まだそんなもの持ってたんだ。 懐かしくもその小さな犬のぬいぐるみは昔まだ私たちが学生だった頃あの人に持たせたものだ。ところどころがほつれてはいても何度も修繕した跡がある。こんな子供じみたお守りをずっと大事にしてくれていたのかと思うと、それと同時にこの子はそのぬいぐるみの中に私の毛が入っていることを知らないのだと思えばおかしくもなる。さすがにもうボロボロだね。なんだか嫌な凄みが出てる感じ。
だから効き目がありそうなんじゃない？おじいちゃんはこのワンちゃんに何度も命を救われたって言ってたよ。
そんな話私には一度もしてくれなかったけどな。
しまった。恥ずかしいからおばあちゃんには黙ってろって言われたの忘れてた。
あの人らしいというかなんというか。
そうだ、おばあちゃんにワンちゃんのお礼するのも忘れてた。
お礼？
おじいちゃんがね、幸運の犬っころをやるからおばあちゃんにお礼をしろって言っててね。ちょっと待ってね。確かね、いつか渡そうと思ってお財布の中に入れておいたはずなんだけど、
なんだろう。何をくれるの？
あったはいこれ、おばあちゃんにあげる。
それは？
これはね、天国行きのチケット。
天国？
そう、これさえあれば天国行き間違いなし。
ありがとう。おそらくは落書き帳の切れ端だろう。長方形の画用紙にはクレヨンでお花や動物の絵が描かれ、あまり上手とは言えない文字が書かれている。年をとって老眼がだいぶ進行した私の目にも、そこにははっきりと天国行きと書かれているのが見て取れた。私は天国へ行ってもいいのかな。
どうして行ったらいけないの？おじいちゃんも待ってるよ。
そうなんだけどね。
大丈夫、きっともうみんな許してくれるよ。だっておばあちゃんはいい人だもの。
そうかな。
そうだよ、あたしおばあちゃんがいてくれて嬉しいもんね。おばあちゃん、あたしのおばあちゃんでいてくれてありがとうね。
その言葉が嬉しくて、上手にありがとうが言える子に育ってくれたことが嬉しくて、こんな私にありがとうと言ってくれる存在が嬉しくて、私は涙が止まらなくなった。ありがとう。私も嬉しい。ありがとう。そして、ユージもありがとう。私、生きていて本当によかった。今、私は救われたような気がします。いろいろなことがありました。いろいろなことに悩んだり、自分で自分を苦しめたりもして、決して穏やかだったとは言えない人生だったけれど、それでも決して悪い人生ではなかったなと思えるのは、あなたが私と一緒にいてくれたからだと今改めてそう思うのです。だから心からありがとうとあなたに言いたくて、今私もそ そうしたらまたいじめてくれる？
おばあちゃん、どうしたの？泣いてるの？なんだ、おばあちゃん笑ってるのね。よかったね、おばあちゃん。おばあちゃん、寝ちゃったの？
孫の声が少しずつ遠くなる。見上げた青い空には白い雲。まるで手が届きそうなその雲の隙間に、懐かしい美浜の制服を着たあの人がその姿に年がいもなく大声を上げて泣きそうになる私を見て、あまねと呼ぶあの人の声に握り返したあの人の手はあの頃のまま。それがとても嬉しくて、その手を取った瞬間、私はこれで全てが許されたのだとはっきりと。
迷子の子供みたいうつむいて泣いてたけど、安心できる場所がようやく見つかった。君が残してくれた記憶に抱かれて眠る。みんなに伝えてほしい、あの人を愛してる。